Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the SaVeg podcast.
Hello, everyone.
Why are you sounding all fucking, what the fuck was that?
I don't know what that was.
That was very like sensual. It was like, hello, everyone.
That was not my intention. I meant to just start the podcast normally, but you threw me off guard.
Did I?
Yeah,
okay.
You just got right
you weren't
into
prepared.
it.
You weren't prepared. I mean, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
There's literally no preparation.
Yeah.
People like that, apparently.
It's true. But
it's unprofessional and they love it.
True. I mean, in some circumstances, but there's other circumstances where you do need a lot of preparation. You know?
What, Daniel?
Just can't think of any off the top of my head. But there's some. There's definitely some out there.
Okay, guys. So we're going to start out with our Patreon shout outs. Once again, a reminder, if you check us out on Patreon and join our Patreon family, you get a bonus episode every single month. And this month,
it's juicy as hell,
okay,
guys.
I'm going to you know what, guys? I'm just going to tell you what we're going to do.
We're going to give you the tea.
So Patreon exclusive for the month of June because of so many fucking requests.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to react to what, Daniel?
Rose is going to react to the Freely video that she did of Cheap Lazy Vegan.
So Freely did a video about me, apparently. I have not watched it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to react to it. Daniel
I've seen it.
People around me have.
Yeah.
No, well, you and I think one other person I know has.
Yeah.
And then other people obviously have seen it. I have no idea how many views it has. I have no idea how many likes or dislikes. I have literally no idea.
Yeah.
I do know, like, based on some of your summary, what she said.
Yeah.
And also based on, like, just what I know of her. I just know what she's going to say. But yeah, I was not originally planning on watching it or doing a reaction. But for the Patrons, guys.
Yep. So
you know what? If she's going to do a video on me, I'm going to milk the shit out of it. Okay. So you better join our fucking Patreon if you want to listen to my reaction.
Exactly, guys. You want to check that out. And there's lots more exclusive content and videos on there.
But this one's probably going to be the juiciest.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, guys. I don't actually like drama.
Yeah.
And I feel very uncomfortable actually with like conflict of any kind. I don't mind having like, debates or discussions.
Yeah.
But like, I actually don't like to watch videos that people do of me.
Yeah.
Not that there's this is probably like the only one. Like there might be another like anti-vegan one or something.
Yeah.
But like I don't watch videos of me because I feel very uncomfortable.
But I think this one too. It's like not like necessarily.
I might need some wine.
Oh goddamn! Should we get some wine?
I don't know. I need some drugs. Apparently, I need some other drugs.
I know I have wine in my house, so we could.
We need to prepare all the drugs. Anyway, guys. So June Patreon exclusive is going to be the Freely reaction video. So if you guys want to watch that,
I'm so excited.
Then join the Patreon. It's going to be out pretty soon.
Yeah.
So every month you get a bonus episode, okay? And you get a shout out from us in the beginning of the episode. Well, last week we did the end of the episode because we forgot. But here we go. Okay, shout outs to our lovely patrons.
Yep.
Starting with
Lisa,
Shizuki,
Rachel,
Tassi,
Julianne,
or Tachi. It might be Tachi.
Yeah.
Merle,
yeah. Miro, Anna,
Trish,
Milda,
Rachel,
and Alexandra.
Yes, thank you so much, you guys, for all of the support. You will be getting all the tea very soon.
So those of you that are already on our Patreon, I know that we did a little vote. Everyone's super excited. So you are going to get the raw and unfiltered reaction.
Everyone just wants drama.
Yeah. No, but I also think that part of it is like some of the comments that were made in her video.
Oh God.
I think it's just like good.
It's
like,
so uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's not necessarily like drama. I mean, it is drama, but like some of it's
so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Just imagine, like, I know when people don't like make videos and like put themselves out there, they might not understand, but it's like almost like you're sitting in a room and people are talking shit about you and you're listening.
Yeah. Well, that's just it, right?
How
like,
uncomfortable
it's
is that?
God, I don't know what I would do. Like if someone all of a sudden, and the part of the uncomfortable, icky feeling is like if someone posted a video like of me.
Yeah.
Obviously, I am not a YouTube celebrity
Excuse
sensation.
You be a podcast sensation.
But
you be one of the top 50 percentile of the podcasts in the world.
But yeah, like if someone posted a video of me, I would also feel really uncomfortable because I would be like, I can like see people talking about me and like they're putting it out to other people who might see this video and they don't get my side of the argument.
Well, then does that mean I need to do a response video to this?
No, you don't have to, Rose. God damn.
I mean, here's the thing. If I watch this video, it might piss me off enough for me to actually do a response video, but you guys will get the genuine, authentic, initial first reaction to this motherfucking video.
And I feel like when we do it on the Patreon too, we can be like more juicy and more
unfiltered. Like I'm going to go all fucking in, guys. Yeah.
And
here's the thing. Let me just tell you the real fucking tea and why she actually made that video on me. Ooh. Because I don't think everybody knows, because she didn't mention it at all. Apparently, according to Daniel, she did not mention this in the video. No. So last year I did a video responding to one of her videos, which I believe she has since deleted. Yeah. Where she's basically like, I don't support Black Lives Matter. This is like right after the George Floyd incident happened. And she did this like very ignorant, video. And I thought I was like not being super mean to her. I was mainly attacking her arguments. Yeah. Because she brought up like people like Candace Owens. Like she basically used Candace Owens as like her example.
Our favorite person.
Exactly. Anyways, it was a really bad video. And I did a video, I spent a lot of time like researching for that video. And I basically like told her that she was, being ignorant and stupid. Yeah. I mean, I didn't say she was being stupid. But anyways, I was like trying to be like, you know what? Like here is the information. And then, of course, like since then, she's pretty much, had the target on me, but I think she waited at least a year so that it doesn't seem obvious.
Yeah. So it doesn't seem as obvious that she like jumped on you. You know
exactly.
What I mean? Yeah.
She's like, oh, okay, well now I have to attack this girl.
Yeah. It definitely you added fuel to the fire there, Rose.
I did.
God damn.
I did.
Do you remember? I remember one of your videos from like years ago.
Oh my God, what is this one?
It was the one where you reacted to Trisha Paytas going to SeaWorld or something.
Oh my God, I think I privated that video.
Did you?
Because it was like one of my very first videos. Yeah. And I think I'm pretty sure I would still stand by that video because I was talking about, but I was a bit aggressive and I didn't like that I was being super aggressive. So I didn't like my approach with that one. But yeah, I was like talking about how like, because I think she made some really ignorant video.
Oh, she did. Trisha. It was like so bad because she was like, it was obvious that she was like promoted by SeaWorld.
Yes.
Because she was like, oh, hey guys, if you go there, like you can get like a cup like this and it's free refills and blah, blah. And it's like, okay.
You have really good memory.
Well, I vaguely remember. But I remember that. I distinctly remember her with this like pink cup.
Yes. I remember that now.
And then she was like, yeah, and it's so awesome. And it was like so obvious that like, this is one thing I don't like. Like, obviously there's a lot of like sponsored content on YouTube, but it's like, be upfront and honest about it. Like, don't try to play it off like, like she was like playing it off like
did she not disclose it?
I'm pretty sure she didn't.
Yeah, see that's shady. That's illegal now,
Yeah, you have to disclose that shit. So
yeah, I did do a very aggressive video on it, but I felt uncomfortable with it, so I took it down.
No, fair enough.
Yeah,
because I was gonna say that you did get a little bit of backlash from that one.
Yeah, I probably did. Yeah, at the time I probably did, and that's partially one of the reasons I'm sure I took it down because I was probably like, oh my God, people hate me. Yeah, but also mainly because like I also kind of agreed that maybe I shouldn't have been so like aggressive with my approach.
Exactly, and I think sometimes also like you might like post a video and then like later on you think to yourself, oh, actually, you know, I kind of like I want to articulate my argument better.
Exactly.
Like, because, especially, and I'm sure we all are guilty of this, where, maybe you and your partner get into an argument or whatever, and then you take a step back and you're like, oh, hang on a second. I handled that really poorly.
Hindsight is 20/20.
It's true. And there's been so many times where like I've gotten in arguments with like friends before or like my parents even, and then like taking some time. I'm the kind of person like I get like heated in the moment.
Do you, Daniel?
Sometimes.
I've never seen you get mad.
I know. It takes a lot. It really,
I don't think I've ever seen you get mad.
Have you not?
I don't think so. Have you seen me get mad?
Yes.
Excuse me. No, but like actually mad.
I don't think I've ever seen you like
super
really
mad. Angry. Like I'm sure I've been like annoyed or pissed off. But like, oh God. Can you hear the downtown noises? Anyway.
This is so annoying, guys. These people literally drive up and down 17th Ave, up and down 12th Ave.
One of the streets.
With their
one of the avenues.
I know. Motorbikes and everything, and I'm like, please just go. Great, have your motorbike, have your fun, but go on the highway somewhere where you're not going to bother people.
But that's then no one's going to hear them,
and no one's going to see them. That's the main thing.
Anyways,
no, but what I was saying is like, it does take a lot for me to like get mad, but like when I do, like, there's been a few instances where I've like gotten a bit like in the heat of the moment. Yeah. And then I'm the kind of person like I'm best like some people are best like right away deal with it whatever sometimes I kind of need to remove myself in the situation and then just give myself a little bit of time and then I like think about it and then I'm like, oh shit, actually I was kind of in the wrong there or so
it happens with YouTube too. I'm sure I've privated a few other videos because I just didn't like it afterwards.
No, fair enough.
But things happen, but anyways so that video we're gonna record tomorrow. Oh my God, I'm not that scared, but like I'm just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna be like, oh my God, this is so uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh God, it's gonna be quite interesting because we're gonna have to watch it, Rose.
We're gonna have to watch it And you're going to get my authentic reaction.
Exactly. And then we're going to comment on how you a drug addict and how you be in a situation.
Oh God. Anyway, guys. So yeah, check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/the SaVeg
Yeah.
Because I'm milking the shit out of this situation. Okay.
You're just milking it.
I'll be milking.
So you be milking, goddamn Rose. So one of the stories actually, that we don't actually have an article for, but one of the things that we wanted to talk about today, which I think they're doing in other countries, but I'm not 100% sure. But
I don't know where Daniel's going with this.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yes.
You're ready to see.
This is why I actually like when you like have stories and then I don't really know what it is.
But we talked about this. You'll know as soon as I open my mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
you'll see, but I'm just like building it up right now.
Sure. Tell me.
To get you all nervous, just to not know what I'm talking about. But basically, so today in our province, they've unveiled, you know what I'm talking about now? Mm-hmm.
Oh, like reopening.
No.
You're talking about
the $1 million.
Oh, the lottery.
Yes.
Okay.
So, guys, if you don't know, so Rose and I reside in the beautiful province of Alberta in Canada. And so actually it's interesting because even between our friends, this has caused a little bit of controversy.
Not really controversy, but some discussions.
Yeah, discussions. Yeah. That's a better way to put it. So basically what our province has done is they've decided to do what they've called a vaccine lottery. So they've opened it up, and I guess it just opened today or maybe like this month or something. And for the month of July, August, and September, they're giving out $1 million randomly at random.
Yeah.
To people that have been vaccinated. But you do have to register on the website and say like you've been vaccinated, and like you just fill out this quick thing and then you're entered into the raffle.
Yeah.
So I guess obviously the government's reasoning behind this, and the whole campaign is reopen Alberta, I believe it was, or like or reopen something or reopen in
it's
the summer.
It's basically an incentive for people to get vaccinated for those that are not vaccinated. Yeah. What are the numbers currently? Because we've had our first dose.
Yeah.
And I think we have about 60 or maybe 70 something.
I think we're at, let's just take a look, guys.
I think the reason why they released this is because now we've kind of, in the beginning when the vaccinations were open, they got actually quite a lot of people, because people like us were like, we want to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
But then because there are people that don't want to get vaccinated because of whatever reason. Yeah. I think the numbers are kind of becoming a bit stagnant at this moment.
Oh, you're right.
So we're right at 68.8%.
And you know what? You're right. It has become stagnant, because I remember every day I would check. This was before, guys. And it would be like in a day, like a full new percentage or almost like a half percentage would go. So you'd look at the number, and like at the end of the week, there'd be quite a few more people. And this is going really slow, because I think last time I checked, it was like 68.5%.
Right.
So
because I just feel like if you wanted the vaccine, most of you have gotten it at this point.
Yeah.
So now we're left with, that's a pretty high percentage of people that are like anti-vax or like potentially anti-vax or don't care.
But I also think that the difficult thing is you have to, it's not just anti-vax and those that don't care. That's a part of it. But also I think that some of the stats, because isn't this for people that are over the age of 12? Right?
Yes,
so
it is.
What percentage of our population is below the age of 12? I know it's probably not 30%, but how many people are in that age category? Yeah. So it will be a mixture of that.
Sure.
But I mean, this number, the number that's like getting fully vaccinated, that's going up quite quickly. So you're right. Those people that have had their first dose are
now the first dose is getting stagnant, so they have more for the second dose.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, and also, to be fair, I think there are people that are like scared, I guess. So that's the one thing where I might be a little bit more understanding. Yeah. Because some people are, they like just nervous. Don't know.
Yeah.
But then I feel like, like there's other vaccines that people have taken, and you have to take, like, isn't it like law that, if you're a student, like we had to take certain vaccines.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily law. I think it's just like best practice. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like you take like hepatitis B, hepatitis C.
Don't you do it at the school?
Yeah. It was elementary school.
So you can opt out? Is that what you're saying?
I think you can, but I actually don't know, because it's been so long.
Anyways, so now they're saying, okay, they're trying to incentivize people to get this vaccine.
Yeah.
So the incentivization is that they're giving away, is it 3 different people?
Yeah.
$1 million
each of the months. So
and it's just a random draw.
Exactly. And yeah, the pull is because they said, so it's quite funny because, well, not funny, but they said.
I was literally just waiting for you to say, but not funny.
Why do I always do that, guys?
It's like a natural impulse for you.
It is, yeah. But anyway, it's kind of funny.
But not funny.
I did that on purpose. But basically the province had said, as part of our mandates for reopening, we have to hit 70% of first doses. So like by the time the province hits 70% of first doses, then we can reopen everything. But then what's happened, we've stagnated, right? So we're like right there almost. And the government's probably like, oh shit, like we need to encourage more people to get this vaccine.
Sure.
Because like, yeah.
And then do we reach like some kind of herd immunity situation?
Well, I don't really know. Like, I think that's the premise behind it. They're saying 70% of people, once you get your first dose, you do reach that almost herd kind of like immunity. Because they just say something about 70 or 80% has to.
I think so.
Yeah. So something along those lines. That's the concept behind it. But yeah, this incentive is a little bit like the reason it sparked debate, I guess, amongst some of our friends and myself included. At first glance, I was like, okay, I kind of was like, I get what the government's doing, but then also, is that the best way to like use funds? You know what I mean? Like $1 million is a lot of money, you know, and it's taxpayers' dollars. Like that's literally money that we've paid in taxes. Yeah.
But then my argument was, if people don't get the vaccine, I mean, I'm just thinking about like, what is the best possible outcome? And the best possible outcome is that we fucking get people vaccinated and reopen. Yeah. Right. So my thing is, first of all, if lots of people don't get vaccinated, they're going to eat up potential hospital resources. Yeah. If they get COVID. So that could potentially cost more than the $3 million. Yeah. And in the grand scheme of things, the fact is that the government takes taxpayer dollars and they just do whatever, right? Like, yeah. You're not going to agree with like a lot of the taxpayer dollars that are going into the government to begin with. Yeah. So how it's spent it's, you know, and not the $3 million is not a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, like, is it really that much money? True. Compared to like so many other things that they've wasted money on.
That's very true. You know? Yeah, that's very, very true.
You know, so to me, I think it's better. Like, yes, it's kind of stupid. Like my friends were saying, basically some of my friends were saying, like, we shouldn't have to bribe people. They're saying we have to bribe people to like take the vaccine. Yeah. We shouldn't have to bribe people. I'm like, yeah, I agree. We shouldn't have to. But unfortunately, there are enough stupid people out there. Yeah. So I would rather bribe people.
Exactly. This is true. And like, this is going to be a very controversial controversial statement that I'm about to say.
Oh God, what you going to say, Daniel?
Something that I mentioned to you earlier. But basically, like,
which, I mean, I kind of agree.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, I'm not obviously fully behind this thought process, but part of me was like, okay, you have this group, this fringe group, or whoever they may be. And granted, you know what? I think everyone's entitled to their own opinions and whatever else. But like, you have
not if you're dumb.
I know.
Continue.
You have this group that's like, you know, anti-vax, anti-mask. They're saying that this coronavirus is all a scam and whatever else. And I'm kind of like, okay, this is going to sound so bad, guys. Don't judge me.
I feel like a lot of people agree this.
Yeah, I think
like,
so.
we don't actually think this, but also kind of.
part of me wants to enforce it. Do you know what I mean? Not myself, but like, so my thought process is, okay, you refuse to wear a mask. You refuse to follow protocol. You refuse to get a vaccine, right? So then my thought process is, if you contract coronavirus, then you shouldn't necessarily have access to public free healthcare. Like, if you actually end up having to go to the hospital, you should probably pay for it. Or do you know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be other people's money, like our taxpayers' dollars, that are paying for you to go to the hospital when you've made that conscious decision of not following rules, right? So that decision, I guess, is up to people, right? But at the same time, like, I don't think it's fair that then they can get sick because of stupid actions. Exactly. And like doing these rallies without masks and all of this stuff increase your chance of getting it. And then, oh, God forbid, you do get it. Guess what? They're going to the same hospital that we would go to, taking up resources that we could use when we're actually following the protocols.
Yeah. So, and if we get sick with something else, you know, a lot of hospitals got really jam-packed full of people. So a lot of people that were sick with other things didn't get service. Exactly. But my thing was, okay, so because then you can make that argument. It's a slippery slope. Obviously, again, we're being, you know, it's just a thought. Yeah. Right?
We're kind of playing like devil's advocate here, right?
I don't know if that's the right term.
Probably not.
Devil's advocate is like basically when
you challenge someone.
No, it's basically like, let's say, for example, I'm trying to think of an example. Well, so let's say there's a bad guy and a good guy, and then you kind of defend the bad guy by saying, I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say, but if this person, that's devil's advocate.
No, because like, for example, the way that I look at devil's advocate is like, let's say you had an opinion on something. I agreed with your opinion.
Okay.
But I'm going to say actually, Rose, but I'm just going to play devil's advocate here.
Maybe it could be used as that too.
Yeah,
but from my understanding, I thought it was like devil's advocate. Guys, let us know what you think. I mean, we could easily Google this, but like, I mean, I do get what you're saying too. I think that is used in that way too.
You often say, I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Yeah, but
so
usually,
even though I agree
but the
with
reason why it's called devil's advocate is because I see what you're saying. So even if you agree with me, I'm going to play devil's advocate as in I'm just going to pretend.
Exactly.
Okay.
To have a debate with
so
you.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry, what was that, Rose?
I think we're both right.
Can you guys, we got this.
Right.
We got this on camera.
Daniel, we're both right.
Can you just say it one more time for me?
We're both right.
No.
Do you know why we're both right? Because I'm also right.
Are you though?
Yes. It's like you're the bad guy, I'm the good guy, right?
Yeah.
Of course. But let's say you did something bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody else is like, I'm going to defend Daniel. I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Where's my phone?
Are you going to Google? I'll Google.
Just because I know. You know what, guys? I'm going to cherish that moment there that we caught on camera. I'm going to
You're going to slow it down.
Yeah. And I'm just going to have it on my phone saved. So whenever Rose says something to me, I can just send it to her and have it saying, you're right. Because I swear to God, let's take a look here.
Okay, you're right. Let me read it. A person who expresses a contentious opinion in order to provoke debate or test the strength of the opposing arguments. Okay, exactly. Daniel, it's the first time in our 10-year friendship.
That is bullshit, guys. That is bullshit and you know it. Oh, I feel really good today, guys.
Oh my God, do you feel good?
You just really made me feel quite special there, Rose.
Anyway, I totally forgot what we're saying.
We were talking about playing devil's advocate. We were saying, so I did.
But you didn't use it correctly this time, okay? But you did explain it correctly.
Yeah. So I explained it correctly. I used it incorrectly. But what I was meaning is we're just kind of like,
so what I was saying, basically, is that, maybe I am playing devil's advocate.
To provoke an opinion, you know?
No, actually, I'm not playing devil's advocate. No, I'm just saying that the argument that we're saying doesn't make sense because you could it's a slippery slope. Because then, for example, you could be like, if you have like really unhealthy health, lifestyle choices, which like fucking,
so
60-70% of people do. Like, for example, like people that smoke or people that, eat really unhealthy food. Like, you can't really say to those people, I mean, people, again, like if we're going to make this argument, you could easily say like, you could say to those people.
We could fall in that category
like
for drinking.
Exactly. So you could do this with anything, right? But then we did say also coronavirus is very specific.
Yeah. And I also think that like, I guess, you're right. It's a slippery slope and it's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Only because I feel like with coronavirus and these anti-maskers, they're deliberately going out of their way against what the health guidelines are.
Yeah.
For like a pandemic.
And like, we just know that it's not like, oh my God, apparently all of them have some sort of health condition where they can't wear a motherfucking mask.
Yeah.
But anyways,
guys. So that was a little kind of aside. I don't know. I was joking about this $1 million thing. Cause I was saying, I texted some, I think it was like our little group chat or something. I was like, you know what? I'm like on the fence about government spending of funds like this, but however, I'm not going to complain if I win. I've definitely put my name in the hat there, guys.
Well, I just hope that whoever wins isn't actually like an anti-masker person.
My God, could you imagine?
Well, I do think that if you're like an anti-vaxxer, most people wouldn't sign up. I think this is for people that are like just unsure.
Yeah.
That don't really have an opinion, but they're kind of like, I don't know.
That last 1.2%, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's all we need.
God damn. Then we're going to be at 70%. Yeah. But then because they said once we hit 70, because they really want to open up our province for Stampede. That's the main push.
Yeah. Stampede is like the big festival that happens in the summer in this province. It's kind of fucked up. There's like a rodeo. It's stupid, but also like it gets a lot of people, out and spending money.
Exactly.
So.
And anyway, so then they said by the time we hit 70%, then sorry if this is boring for you guys as well, but then 2 weeks after that, all restrictions are going to be lifted here.
God damn, Daniel. Be crazy as hell.
But look at hospitalizations.
Well, we'll be second vaccinated, so we'll be fully vaccinated.
I know. Guys, we both have booked our second vaccination.
Oh, snap.
Yep. So we are going to be fully vaccinated.
Very soon.
Very, very shortly.
Yes.
And we also we're not going to say right now, but we have exciting news for one of the episodes later on to tell our lovely audience. So...
I don't know what this news is.
God damn, it's not a surprise, Rose. You act surprised. Rose is acting like we haven't had these conversations ever.
Okay, but I don't know what you're talking about. Can you give me a hint?
It has to do with something that we're doing in July.
Oh,
and
I
then
see.
in September.
Oh, I see.
And then in another month as well.
Okay. Anyway, should we get to some stories? God damn.
We've been talking a lot.
I told Daniel's like, I only have like 3 stories. I was like, Daniel, we have literally no problem filling an hour. We're probably gonna go over.
Well, this was my first story about the $1 million
so
kind of like.
What's the next story?
So the next story, well, I think, okay, well, we have a few stories here. I think that we could talk about the scandal. The drama.
See, I love talking about other people's drama.
That's true. Is that a...
But I don't like talking about my drama. Or like, I don't like having drama.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone likes having drama.
No, some people do. That's why they have drama all the time.
True. That's
people that always say, here's the thing. People that like, oh, I mean, not that I say, like, I don't usually say like, I don't like drama, but like people that actually say that like all the time, love drama. Yeah. You know, the people that are like, I really hate drama. Mm-hmm. You know, like drama is not my thing, but like, you know, my exes or my friends just all love drama. I'm like, no, you love drama.
Or what about the people that say, I'm really non-confrontational? I'm like, bitch, really?
Don't I say that?
No. I'm trying to think of somebody that's told me that before, that they're like, I'm really non-confrontational.
But were they like super confrontational?
And then I'm like, I've seen you before. You are definitely one of the most confrontational people I've met. Yeah. Oh God.
Anyway, so some podcast drama.
Yeah. So basically, I've actually never seen an episode of this podcast. Have you?
Okay, I've never sat through an entire episode. Yeah. I don't find it to be particularly interesting. Yeah. But I do watch smaller snippets.
Okay, like little clips.
Basically, we're talking about the H3H3 podcast, which is a huge podcast.
Yeah,
it's huge. All over YouTube. Like they have like a podcast main channel where they post like the full episodes. Yeah. They have like a highlights channel where they post like highlights. That's the one that I've seen like different videos on.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a full team. They've got like a full marketing team. They have a production team. They have everything. This is like a full show. Okay. So it's huge. Mm-hmm. It's huge. They get millions of, listens, I'm sure, every episode. Mm-hmm. And then recently, so Ethan Klein basically is the host of the H3 podcast. Yeah. And him and Trisha Paytas, who is a very famous, well-known YouTuber. Yeah. Who is a lover of drama.
Oh God, yeah.
And so they started collabing. Mm-hmm. Like,
well, what had happened was like, I think originally, if I remember correctly, like, and again, don't quote us on this, guys.
Well, I know the original backstory.
Wasn't it like Ethan did a story on Trish or something?
Yes.
And then she got really pissed or something.
Yes.
Then she came on the podcast.
Yes.
And then I guess that episode was like really successful and whatever else. So obviously they saw that, their dynamic on the show.
They had pretty good dynamic.
Yeah. So they're like, oh, actually, because there's certain things that you can't buy with, that you can't buy. And one of them is,
chemistry.
Chemistry.
Do we have chemistry?
That's why Rose keeps me around,
You saying we have chemistry?
Oh, God
damn, Daniel. That's why we can talk for fucking hours and hours.
Sometimes too much.
Probably going to go for a walk and talk more after this. Anyways, so you're right. Yeah. So that's exactly what happened. Basically, at first, she got mad and all this stuff. Yeah. They came on the podcast. And then they became like really like a kind of like a weirdly iconic duo. Yeah. And then they started a segment of the podcast, I think, called Frenemies.
So it's like a separate, it was part of the H3H3 production or whatever. Yes. But it was like its separate channel almost. Yes. Yeah.
So then, but the problem is with Trisha is that she is not very stable.
No.
Like it doesn't seem like, actually, apparently she changed her pronoun.
Oh yeah.
I think.
Yeah. It's
they.
They. Yeah.
I'm sorry guys, this is very confusing for us.
Yeah.
Anyways, they are not very stable.
Yeah.
So they, and they've always had a lot of drama with like different people, and I feel like some of it might be acting.
This is the thing. I think that there must be a portion of it.
Do we even believe this?
Well, this is the thing. Again, look at how much traction it's gotten.
Right. That's the thing.
So I think what will be really telling if this drama is real.
Because the thing is, just a few months ago, they had a very similar drama situation where like Trisha like kind of like stormed out, and it was like a huge thing. She made video. It was like almost the same thing. I don't know exactly at that time what happened, but basically she made a video talking about like all this shit about Ethan and her.
Well, apparently she's almost quit the show like 3 times.
Yeah.
So, or she's threatened to walk out or do whatever. And then I guess this time she actually quit the show, apparently.
But she's done it before.
I know. So this is why I'm like,
it's very confusing.
Exactly. This is why I'm like, it's going to be telling if they actually, if they all of a sudden they like have a video, they're like, oh, we're back together, like doing this again.
Mm-hmm. It's such a public feud. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard for me to gauge whether it's real or not. Yeah. But, I mean, are they that good of actors? I don't know. Anyways, so do you know the kind of behind the scenes drama?
Well,
like, do you know the story?
I don't know all of it, guys. So I'm going to kind of like, I might not say it exactly, watch the video. There's lots of people that have done videos. So many videos
That's the thing. This is a very big, driver,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why you have to sometimes question, like, is this actually real? Because like it does get a boost to their channel's views.
Exactly.
The video.
And to add to the drama, did you know that she is engaged to his brother-in-law?
Yeah.
So his wife is named Ela,
Yeah.
And Ela has a brother named Moses.
Yeah.
And Trisha and Moses, I think they met while they started doing the podcast.
Well, apparently, didn't they do an episode where they were like trying to find her like a boyfriend or something?
Oh, I don't know the story behind it.
Yeah, I don't know it either. But yeah, she is engaged to...
so they are in-laws.
Yeah.
Okay? Which is another reason why I find this hard to believe.
I know, it's so weird. But then like Trisha, like honestly...
She does have mental health issues.
Yeah.
Or is she acting? I don't know.
This is the thing.
Is this an excuse? Here's the thing. I feel like nowadays people use the mental health thing as kind of like an excuse for like just
bad behavior,
constant bad behavior.
Yeah.
Like once in a while, I get it. Like you need to get help.
Yeah.
Don't post shit online.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like,
but is that part of the mental health? Like,
I don't know.
Can you blame mental health for everything?
Yeah, well, exactly.
I don't know.
This is a challenge because it's like, yeah, like part of the creative process of YouTube and whatever else is you film, you record, you edit, and then you upload it onto the platform. So like, there's never like an accidental post, really.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
but then she's maybe going through the whole. I don't know what she has actually.
Yeah.
I think people said she has bipolar.
Yeah.
And I think when you're manic, you might do things that are a bit.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. So anyway.
Yeah.
But again, like, can we blame? I don't know. It's a very complicated topic.
It is. So basically what had happened. So I kind of watched. So I guess there's this one episode, like the most latest episode of the Frenemies podcast.
Oh, so you watched the drama portion?
Yeah.
When they like had a issue.
Yeah. And
I didn't see that.
It was so uncomfortable because what happened is like they started like talking about money and stuff. And basically like the whole time, even after this, Trisha's like very adamant that it was never about money, but it was quite clear in the podcast, like that when she was talking to Ethan or whatever, that like she was having a difficult time with the way that they split it. So I guess the way that they had split the cost is like the profit from this particular Frenemies podcast is that I guess Ethan got 55%.
Yes.
And she got 45%.
I think so. Well, it was 50-50, but then he takes an extra 5 for production costs or something.
Exactly. So he took an extra 5 from her for production costs. And also his like production company, they got all the revenue from like the highlights channel or something.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the main one, again, they split 50-50, but 5% went to production costs. So they started talking about this. And then Trish started like being like, well, 5% is a lot of money. Cause I guess obviously this podcast is making so much.
Yeah.
And she's like, I want to have a say, like, cause I guess they were using the same production team that produces all of their other videos.
Yeah.
And it's like, she was getting pissed off because she's like, I have no say as to who's getting hired. Like, I want to pick who's hired. We need a separate staff for the Frenemies podcast. Yeah. And then he was like, look, this is pretty fair. Like, he's like, most channels that have the production company would take a much bigger cut.
Absolutely. Like 50-50 is like way more than fair.
Exactly. And he's like,
because she's the talent. Like technically she is just a guest on this podcast, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they do it together. They're co-hosts.
Yeah.
But he owns this company.
Yeah.
Like she's just coming in as the talent.
Well, this is what he was saying in the video. He's like, you just come in and show up. And then she got really pissed even more and was like, no, like obviously she's like, the creative thing is between both of us, like blah, 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 blah. Like, and it's like, well,
yeah, but there's other things that go into having a podcast.
Well, and then he actually did a response video to this and he was talking about how she was saying like, you know, she was like saying that, she wants to have say in who gets hired for this. She wants to have say, like she wanted them to set up a new area for like a production place just for the Frenemies podcast. And he was like, that's all fine and dandy, but he's like, I'm going to bear most of that risk because, this is like the third time she's kind of walked off the show.
Do they see? Here's another thing.
Yeah.
These people, I feel like it's fake. I don't know. Like I have a gut feeling that like they are acting.
Yeah.
Like maybe Ethan isn't, but I feel like this is just a very constant thing for this, this person, So I feel like, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. It's so hard. Again, we're not there, so we don't know.
And they're not stupid. There's the thing. They have lawyers. They have a team.
Yeah.
She has a team. Sorry. Just very confused. Anyways,
I know.
Trisha has a team.
Yeah.
Okay. Trisha has a team. Ethan has a team. They all have a team. Okay.
Yeah.
They are very rich people. They are in the entertainment industry. They've been in the entertainment industry for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not she does like YouTube videos and stuff, but still like.
But she's making a lot of money off YouTube.
Bank. Yeah. Okay. So for them to not have some sort of a contract situation where they both negotiate and agree and sign your goddamn fucking name on it.
Yeah.
So you've agreed to it. So to me, this seems, fishy.
But I mean, okay, you're right. With these two, because I was just thinking, I was like,
what do you think? Isn't it fishy?
I was like, but think about that podcast, but it's kind of a different situation. But remember that call your daddy or something?
Oh yeah, call her daddy. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of different because they weren't super mega celebrities before they joined that podcast.
Yes, it was different in a few ways. I think it was different because number one, they didn't fight on the fucking show.
Yeah.
Okay, so the fight kind of went on behind the scenes, and then it kind of, was brought up to the surface. And second, they were dealing with, the big production company, and then they were renegotiating the contract, right? But I mean, you're right. Maybe they are I don't know what it is. Okay, but like,
it's a very strange again. But
maybe it's not fake. I don't know.
It's hard to say. We're not there. But
we will find out in a few months if they're back.
This is it. This is like the really true telling sign is if these individuals come back and start filming more videos and whatever, like everything's all happy again. Then I'm gonna be like,
which might happen.
Yeah.
But then was it fake the whole time? Who knows?
Exactly.
We still don't fully know.
Was it fake to increase viewership? Was it fake to because you see some people...
Did she have a fake attack? Or did she have a meltdown because...
Or even more controversial, did they discuss this before the episode of the podcast?
Oh God.
And say, look, we need to let's try to increase some views. We're going to have
But they were already successful. That's the thing.
That's true.
And I do feel like with Ethan, again, I don't know these people obviously, and they're all in LA and Hollywood, so maybe this happens a lot, but I just feel like Ethan and Hila, they wouldn't do something like this. Like they just don't seem like they would.
That kind of people. Well, and this
because again, it would be different if their podcast was fucking dying, but they were very popular, this podcast.
That's true. So you're right, because
I'm torn.
Yeah, you're right, because it would make sense if it was a much smaller podcast. Maybe they're trying to claw an audience, but they're already super super successful.
Exactly.
Their episodes get
so many views,
millions of views per episode.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my God. Maybe one day that'd be us, Rose.
God damn, Daniel. But to be fair, Trisha has had a lot of falling outs with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, for people like this, it's unless they fix something, it does happen frequently. It is a constant battle. That's why I don't think she has many friends. Yeah. And so it's going to be really hard to work with somebody like that.
Well, and I think a part of it too, and I think this is the the LA problem in a sense that so many people go there obviously for fame and also it's obviously big YouTuber, TikToker, all that kind of scene and everything. And the thing is I feel like the reason we see so many of these videos of falling outs and whatever else is because you have this group of people there, and I'm not saying that anyone in this particular group is a bad person, but it's they almost are confusing or blurring the lines of friendships and what is actually a friendship. Do you know what I mean? Whereas they're filming these videos, and I'm not saying that Frenemies is a perfect example, but it's kind of one where you come together, you're working on a project with some people, and then you I don't know, and then you have this falling out and whatever else, but it's you lose. I feel when you go to LA, especially if you don't have any good friends when you move there, you meet a lot of I don't know, clout chasers, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Clout chasers and just really not sincere
people. You just
people.
collab with each other, but are you friends? Are you not?
Yeah.
And
I'm not saying any of those people are bad, but some people are looking at it as let's just collab together. Other people are saying, oh, they're my friend because we're collaborating. Yeah. And I think it just creates a very strange thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And do they do their show live?
I don't think so, because I don't think it's live streamed.
So they record it. And they posted the really awkward fight situation.
Or maybe they did. Maybe it was live streamed. I don't actually know.
I don't know. I don't think it's live streamed. I think it is recorded, which I also find funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, and it could have been not fake, but they still wanted to post it after the fact because they knew it would get attention. You know what I mean? So it could have been like that too. But either way, basically they had this big falling out. And then of course, Trisha made a million videos on this topic. Yeah. And then I think Ethan made 1 or 2 videos or something.
He responded. He seemed quite, again, I'm not taking sides, but it sounds like I kind of am.
I think people are taking sides. Yeah. Because you can clearly see who is being ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, even Ethan in his videos, he's so articulate, so well spoken, and he was just look, he's I don't really want, and he was actually I just watched one of his response videos, and he was just oh, I'm not trying to I learned a lot from working with Trisha. I think she's a great person. Mm-hmm. He's but she's putting me in this really awkward place because she's saying all of these statements which I feel like I need to respond to.
Yeah.
And he just did it in such a good way, and he mentioned about how she was saying again with the topic of the staff, she was saying to fire the people or whatever and get new people to work for Frenemies, and he was I can't just tell my production and then he was basically I had to talk to my production company about this, and then he was and then we had to film 2 days later.
So awkward.
And he's of course they're gonna be awkward. So he it was just a very strange situation. And he was Trisha has some great ideas and stuff, but he was we also, it's one thing to have a great idea, but you also have to have some weight behind it in a sense that you know, I want to go to the moon. Okay, great. But like, how do you get there?
Yeah.
You know, you can have all these great ideas, but if you have nothing that can like follow through, yeah.
I mean, it's shocking that Trisha is as successful as she is, being so difficult to work with. It seems. I don't know. Who knows?
And this bothers me. I mean, it doesn't, like, I get it. You know what? Good for you, Trisha. You've made it. You've found a niche. You've been very successful for yourself.
She's a good entertainer.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll give her that.
But people like her and like other YouTubers that follow that same kind of like drama path channel or whatever, like, I just kind of wish that we as a society, I guess we're doing the same thing by like commenting on this, but you know, I wish that we didn't reward that behavior.
Yeah.
You know? But I guess this is the way it's
entertainment.
That's true. And it is entertainment, and they're providing us entertainment. So I guess I can't really argue.
Yeah. It's entertainment.
You know? Yeah. I just know that as me, myself, like that's not necessarily content I would want to put out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going to happen.
Like Rose, if we ever had this like massive blowout, I would rather do it off air.
Yeah, I think so.
we'll separate it.
But that's the thing. That's what like, you know, most people would do. And that's why it's like, it's a bit weird,
well, that's
you know?
Why all of this stuff that happens on social media with these like breakups, breakups, sometimes I understand because if they had a channel together or whatever.
Yeah, that I understand.
Yeah, but like breakups when they don't have a channel together, friendships, throwing people like under the bus, doing all this stuff. It's like a lot of this stuff. I'm like, why didn't you talk to this person? Well, obviously we know why, because they get views and everything else. But it's like, normally if you're having a fight with your friend, like you don't want everyone involved.
Put the goddamn camera down.
Exactly. Put the camera down. Put the phone down. Meet up with them. Have it chat it out. You know what I mean? Like,
but I do think like a lot of people on YouTube, what I find is that like a lot of creators that are on YouTube have a lot of issues with like real relationships and socializing. And I think that's what almost makes them more successful on YouTube, because they can dedicate a lot of time to YouTube. So what I found, I think, again, this is just generalization, not necessarily the case, but like, I found that there are lots of YouTubers that are very successful on the platform, but might have a lot of issues like actually with real friends and real people in real life. Because a lot of them, they just like sit in their bedroom, just like talking to a camera. And they're very good at that, but they're not, you know, used to, you know, talking to a real person.
Interesting. What does that say about you, Rose?
I'd be an all-round, well-rounded human being.
Goddamn, modest too. No, that makes sense though. I could see that, because you are like, especially if you're having a special vlog channel or something, where like it's just you talking to the camera all the time. It does kind of like, it's like, oh, okay, well, they get really good at that, but then it's like, outside of that. Yeah, it's kind of, it's sad. And actually, didn't you watch a video recently where there was like people that like people that were talking about like that were married and whatever, but like had no friends outside of their
oh my god, I don't know why randomly I started getting random recommendations of these videos on YouTube.
You have to love the algorithm sometimes.
It's so random. And it like this one guy, it was this like, he was like good looking too. Anyways, he was this good looking dude, and the title was like, I'm 32 and I have no friends, or something like that. And then I clicked on it because I was like, what the hell?
Like,
why am I getting this recommended to me? And I didn't really watch the whole thing. I felt bad for the guy. Like he was married, but apparently he had no friends, which also I find very interesting. You know, and a lot of these people, they say they're married, but they don't have friends. I'm like, well, so you found a partner, you found a love of your life, and you can't have friends? That's interesting.
It's like one or the other, you know. You have a good group of friends. No, I'm just kidding, guys.
But then after I watched that video, of course, then the algorithm started just fucking sending me all these random videos.
This is the thing. It's like, you know what you have to do though? You have to resist the temptation of the algorithm, because as soon as you click one of those random videos that you're like, why is this on my feed? You end up in that rabbit hole, and you're like, oh god, there's like so many of these videos.
I didn't realize. So I mean, it was kind of eye opening to me because I didn't realize there were so many people that don't have friends, which is very sad.
It's so sad. And it just shows you too, like, we as a society, I know we're a little bit off topic here, guys, but like we as a society really put emphasis on finding a partner, getting married, everything else. But like, it's also really important to have friends. Like it's good to have like a mixture of both. And like, I think too much emphasis put in that. And you can see in these videos that people actually describing and being like, you know, it's a problem. Like, I want to have friends, but I'm just in this relationship. Like, that's it.
We were talking about this, and we were saying how like, you know, this isn't something that people talk about that much. No. Like if you're single, then oh my gosh, it's a tragedy.
They're like, whoa.
Doesn't matter how many friends you have. Doesn't matter how many great, you know, other, you know, maybe family relationships you have, whatever it is. But it's like, oh my God, you're like the sad single person. But then nobody really, like, I feel like it's not talked about this, like, the idea of so many people not having like friends.
Yeah. Like that's such an interesting point. Cause like, let's say you go to a wedding or something like this and you go by yourself.
You don't bring a friend, do you? Yeah. I mean, I would like to be invited as a plus one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would bring a friend.
That's true. I've actually been brought to weddings as a friend.
Exactly. But like immediately people like, if you go there, they're like, oh, they'd never ask the question. Like, let's say you were there with your partner. They'd never ask the question like, oh, so do you have any friends?
Yeah. But you're always asked like, oh, if you're alone, they're like, oh, so are you seeing anybody?
Yeah. I'm like, no, but I got lots of friends.
Yeah, I got tons of friends. Do you? How many friends you got?
I got some friends with
Can you call someone right now? Are they going to come here? Can you rely on them?
Got some friends with benefits. I got some... got friends all over.
But, you know, another... oh, my God. We're like never going to get to other stories, are we?
That's fine.
We will, guys. Yeah. We will. This might be an extended episode. You guys love them.
Mm-hmm.
I was just talking to my mom today, and I was like reading different... I don't know. I think I sent you this article.
Did you?
You and in our group chat.
Okay.
And which means you probably didn't open it. Anyways, and it was about how like the happiest demographic are single women with no children.
Yeah.
So ladies, if you're thinking about not getting married and not having children, you're in the happiest demographic.
But didn't they also say like for men, it's like better, they're more happy if they're married?
So men are happier when they get married, and apparently women, again, I need to look this up, but anyway, but apparently women, just Google it, guys. Single women happier, just Google that. Apparently men are happier when they get married, and women not necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, again, this is just a random statistic.
Of course,
okay?
But it's like a generalization.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because women, now we, you know, first of all, women have better, I think, like interpersonal relationships, just generally.
Yeah.
Again, generally. Like women are more able to like talk about their feelings, for example. And, you know, we meet up, like even just like the stereotype of like girls when they meet up, like let's say after they had like one of them had a date. The stereotype is that guys are just like, hey, what's up? How was the date? Oh, like, okay, cool. Did you take her home? Oh, okay. That's like it. Okay.
I love Rose's like
my straight man voice.
It's almost as good as mine.
Yo, bro. Well, do it, Daniel.
How you doing? Yeah. Oh God, she was so hot.
You can't do it.
So hot.
I think my straight man voice is more convincing. Anyways, right. But then, whereas like the girls, we will like sit down, have an entire debrief conversation.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say this. Anyways. Hopefully no one's listening. No one I know is listening.
Speaking from experience, Rose?
Anyways, so we have an entire debrief, and it's not even just that, right? Just like being able to talk about like, you know, your current relationship, just being like, okay, this is what's happening. Like, or like, you know, just getting help. Like, I feel like women just are better at that. I don't know why. Maybe it's genetic. Maybe it's biological. Maybe it's, you know, nurture. Who knows? So that's one thing. And another thing is, what do we talk about, Daniel? How a lot of men, I think it's because of this is, I think, nurture.
Like a societal thing.
Yes. I think like because a lot of, you know, men are in the top of the fucking, you know, patriarchal, you know, pyramid or whatever.
Well, you have to look at like historically, like, because, you know, a lot of what's going on today is framed by what's happened in the past, right? Yes. So there's a lot of like causes and links. And one of the biggest things is like, you know, we can and obviously like women's rights and everything has come a very long way, but look back, even like I remember I was watching what's Ruth Ginsburg's like documentary or whatever, and like she's like, that wasn't that long ago where it was like women were just allowed to go to Harvard school, Harvard law, you know, and even after she graduated, it was like so hard to get a job as a lawyer, and like even women's rights to vote and stuff, like that is within like the last 100 years. So even just that, it just shows you that there has been this constant like men have control, right? Like it's been a straight white man's world,
and it still is. It still is.
Yeah.
And women, I think the reason why, one of the reasons why like men just have not caught up, I feel like because they've, you know, still retained a lot of the control. Yeah. And women have had to fight for more, right? Like fight for, you know, whatever it is. So women have had to, you know, work hard, improve, all that stuff. Yeah. And also just the attitudes toward women and like women's roles have changed dramatically, right? Yeah. But I don't think that the attitudes toward, and just general society's attitudes toward men's roles have significantly changed.
That's true.
So
actually,
for example,
that's a really good point.
So for example, maternity leave is still, you know, where, you know, women are allowed maternity leave, but a man taking paternity leave is seen as, I don't know, like not masculine or something. And that's just one tiny example. Exactly. There's so many examples.
I think another really good example is like the expectation of women now is a lot like, you're right. Society's expectation is like, yeah, you know what? Great. You can be a woman, you can have a career, So you're going to be working.
But you also have to take care of the house.
But you also have to still take care of the house.
Exactly.
We're expecting you to cook, clean, pack lunch for your husband.
Exactly.
Do all this stuff. And obviously, guys, we're generalizing. It's not for every single relationship. And some men are a lot better at this than others.
For sure.
But like, it's still that shift of responsibility, because now if women are working, obviously they shouldn't still have that expectation that they're the only person to be.
But that's why they're happier, because they are still able to take care of themselves in the house. Whereas a lot of men, again, not all, but a lot of men, because again, and they were also brought up by, you know, more traditional people too, right? So even if we're more, you know, progressive, maybe our parents weren't. So they didn't teach the boys how to do certain things in the house, maybe. Okay. Whereas a woman, we are taught to do everything. So we have to do the housework, you know, we have to do all that stuff. But we still also have to go to school. So we're like kind of best of both worlds. Maybe best or both, worst of both worlds.
Cause they're expecting, it's like, you know what? We want you to go to school. We want you to get a good education, but guess what? You have to clean as well.
Exactly.
You have to do all of this other shit. Whereas it's like, the guys, it's like not so much. It's funny because I remember one of my friends, like this is years ago, from a very traditional family. I think they were from somewhere, I think in Eastern Europe or something.
Okay.
Originally. And I went over there. Lovely family. Her parents were so nice to me and everything. We had a delicious meal. I'm like in my house, like my parents, because it was just my mom, like me, my mom, and then my dad and me and my brother. So it's all guys.
Oh
in the house,
all guys.
Except for my mom. So obviously we were taught like we need to help out. Like that was just what it was. And so I'm used to like after eating, we would like clear our dishes and stuff. But like my friend's household was very traditional. And I went to go like start cleaning and stuff, like helping out. And her dad was like, and up until this point, he'd been very like nice and calm. He wasn't like mean or anything. He was just like, what are you doing? I was like, oh no, I'm just going to put my dishes over there and help clean up some of the kitchen and stuff. And he was like, that's women's work.
He said that.
Yeah. And I was like,
did he know you were gay?
No, I don't think so. And I just was like, okay, cool. Like, all right, that's cool. Like, again, nothing against, like, that's how he was brought up. Right.
Exactly.
But it was just really eye opening for me as well. Cause I was like, whoa, like, you know, and it's so interesting because even from like these, you know, really strict cultures, some of them, you know, and they'll come to Canada and whatever, or other countries, or even back in their country probably as well. And women, the expectation now is that they work as well and do everything. It's like, you can't do everything. Yeah. You gotta need some help.
Exactly. So whereas the men can still, in many circumstances, still get away with doing the bare minimum in the house. Yeah. So that's, again, just one tiny example of why I think that men are happier when they're married. Yeah. Because, you know, and they're healthier too. Did you know that? They're healthier when they get married. Whereas women are very great. They're fucking thriving single. So
I could see that because I'm just...
I mean, probably gay men too. Gay men probably also thrive.
Yeah, that's true. I mean...
Actually, I don't know. You're kind of like a
hot mess. But like, you know, it's funny because like I had a couple of my friends, and while they were single without girlfriends and stuff, honestly...
Oh, like straight guy friends?
Yeah. A couple of them, honestly, like this stuff that they would eat for lunch and all this shit.
What I'm saying.
I was like, you guys don't even... They would go like to grab like from Tesco's or something, like just like a random, like this the worst food. And I was just like, guys, like, and of course, like their girlfriend would be like, if they did have a girlfriend, they go to her house, she'd make like some lovely meal and everything else. And I'm like, meanwhile, they're making like macaroni cheese.
Oh my God. Okay. Seriously. We need to find the straight men that are like, you know, taking care of themselves. Cause then you're like, you've been raised right.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. You've been raised by a progressive mother.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Are you going to be a progressive mother, Rose, to your children?
I told you I'm going to remain single without children because I want to remain happy.
You want to be happy.
All right, guys. Oh my God, that was a tangent. So what's the next story?
Oh, God damn. Well, didn't you have a story about some kind of lifesaver or something?
What did you say?
Was it a lightsaber?
You mean a taser? It rhymes.
Yeah.
Kind of, a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't have an article, but I was just seeing a story pop up. It's a bit of a depressing one, so I hope maybe you have a better one after this, but it's a short one. Yeah. Basically, apparently, somewhere in I want to say Maryland. No, I could be wrong. Yeah. Somewhere in the States. Yeah. Cops have been caught tasing a teenager. I don't know if it was one incident or multiple for vaping.
What?
Because apparently maybe he wasn't allowed to vape in this situation.
Yeah, like he was like in a non-vaping area.
Yeah, and then like this kid was just like, he wasn't really doing anything. I think he was just maybe arguing verbally. And then this cop there was a video and it went viral. This cop just like tased him. God. And there was like a multiple, I'm like, what? In what circumstance, in what world was that necessary?
Exactly. I don't understand. Like, where are these cops being trained?
I don't know.
I do think that there's something
it's so
to be
bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, no, it's really bad.
It's really bad.
The thing is, I think that there's like a gap. I think there's a gap in training, but I mean, and I could be wrong on this, but I think that there probably is some proof or evidence that because when you're a police officer, you become like in this position of power.
Yes.
And I think it does, even with proper training and stuff, and to some people it goes to their heads.
Yes.
And then they start to believe that they're above the law.
Oh, for sure.
So
100%.
I think that's there's like a problem with that dynamic.
It's that culture as well. It's like the culture of because it doesn't happen with, some other countries. Like some other countries, the cops are much nicer, maybe.
I don't know which country you talking about,
I don't know.
Rose.
Like maybe in like Sweden or something.
Maybe, but I think globally there's an issue with law enforcement. Because if you look at
why is it such a unique incidence in the States then?
I would say that it's not necessarily unique. I would say that it's more covered. But okay, you're right. I think it might have like an increase in certain areas.
It's much higher in the States.
Yeah, but look at other countries where the police and the law enforcement is super corrupt, and you're having tons of issues with that. And even in Canada, we've had a few instances. Yeah. And you're right. It's not as common here because I do think you're right. A part of it
I'm not using Canada as an example. Yeah. Because I do think we could also use some work. Although I think we're much better than the States in terms of police and brutality.
I think you're right. In the States and other countries that have a lot of these issues.
But you are right. There are a lot of countries that have a lot of police brutality.
Yeah, and police, that stuff. Even ones that aren't necessarily, there's corruption, there's all this kind of stuff.
Sure.
And I think, again, it's like those people that get put in that position of power think they're above the law, think they can do whatever they want.
There's an experiment that was done, I feel like, where it's like if you become an authority figure, you definitely immediately kind of turn into. That's why I'm saying the culture needs to shift in that you can't treat these people like they are the authority figure. You need to treat them like they are working for people rather than the fucking authority. There's a difference.
The thing and I guess that's a very challenging. It's a challenging thing because there is so many issues, I feel like, with law enforcement. I mean, obviously we need law enforcement and they're important and there's some great police officers out there. Again, we're generalizing, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And I think, part of it's the culture. I think that's a big piece of it. And I don't know. It's,
it's interesting.
Those stories really bother me.
I know. It's fucked. That video was fucked. Next story. What's next, Daniel? Is there another one?
There'll be one more story that we're going to leave you with.
Is it going to be depressing?
It's not that depressing.
Okay.
Well, I had two stories, but I think...
Which one's more interesting? No, we got to talk about the anti-vaxxer.
Really?
Yes. What's the other one?
So the other one is about a massive sinkhole. Have you heard about this one?
Anti-vaxxer.
Oh, God damn, Rose.
Have you seen? Yeah. So
have you heard about this?
Yes. So the last story that Daniel pulled up, which I completely forgot about. I can't believe, because I was like, I wanted to talk about this in the podcast.
Yeah.
It's anti-vax nurse goes viral for failed attempt to prove vaccines make people magnetic. No, was this the same person that was on that press conference thing, or was that a different person?
I'm not sure.
Let me just see. Oh no, it is the same person.
Okay.
So this woman. Okay, first of all, how did you become a nurse? Is my question. I feel like these two things shouldn't go hand in. Don't you work with medicine and
vaccines?
Vaccines.
You would think as a nurse that you would work with that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like she needs to have her license revoked.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a controversial statement.
Because I mean, ultimately, in many ways, if you're administering medicine to people,
isn't that very similar to a vaccine sort of situation? What really is the? I mean, yes, there's a difference in the usage, and there is a difference, but ultimately, you're still trusting a scientific. You're trusting a scientific source. Medicine is all science, right? It's,
exactly.
So why do you trust medicine but you don't trust vaccines?
Yeah, well, and I'm sure she would have had to administer other vaccines. I think that's part of being a nurse. You might have to be for someone getting a hep shot.
You think so?
Well, probably through nurse school at some point you would have had to.
So anyways, this woman went viral because she was in some sort of hearing to push for the passage of GOP sponsored House Bill 248, which addresses civil liberties around vaccines. Oh my God, the fucking civil, I'm going to fucking kill the word liberty.
It would do things such as bar vaccines from being mandatory, stop businesses from denying unvaccinated people service.
That's fucking ridiculous.
And outlaw obligations to disclose one's vaccination status. So
what happened to free market capitalism anyway?
Again, I think this is less of an issue in the States, but it's still an issue. if they're going to pass something like this to say that, stop businesses denying unvaccinated people, those same people, as we were mentioning earlier in this podcast, should not have access, or maybe not have access, but like if they end up getting sick, they should have. But
they don't have public health care. They have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess, but then they're going to get
insurance companies should have the right to be like, you don't get coverage.
Exactly. You have to pay for it out of your own pocket. And also, if they can trace that person that was the, not, didn't get the vaccine, didn't wear a mask, went into a public space, infected 5 other people, they should be responsible for those people they infected.
Yeah. Well, here's what I actually genuinely am baffled, because I'm like, how can the same people that are anti-mask, as in like they don't want to wear a mask because of freedom or whatever, be also like, and they also want to open up everything.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also they're anti-vaxxers. I'm like, can you just pick one thing? Because at least if you're saying like, I'm anti-mask, but like I'll get the vaccine so that I don't have to wear the mask, that would make some sense.
Yeah, but I think it's because they in their mind, and
it's not real.
I'm playing devil's advocate here. Correct use of the word, guys. So the thing is, in their mind, they're like, we don't want to do any of this. They don't think it's real. Well, partly they don't think it's real, but also they don't want to do any of this because they think they're being forced to do something, and they say it's against their civil liberties and their civil rights. I was
telling my friends as we're talking about this whole vaccine situation, and I was like, it's like dealing with children, like not just with vaccines, but like when it comes to like the mask thing and the fucking just everything, the whole thing. It's like you have to deal with these children throwing tantrums.
Well, it's like, it's crazy, like, because even in my building, I have noticed so many people that just don't wear a mask in the building. And I get it. Like, well, I don't get it. And I'm like,
you get it, but you don't get it.
Oh, guys, I need to stop. I almost got to the point where I was like going to actually email the building, because I was going to say, do you mind just sending out a reminder that people, in the public spaces.
Do you have a sign that says mandatory masks?
Yes.
That's so weird. My building, like, I feel like everyone wears masks.
Yeah, and mine definitely they don't.
Damn, you be living in some weird ass building.
I am in an undisclosed location in Calgary, guys. Yeah. But yeah, so let's hang on. So what happened with this story? She said.
So I think she tried to like put something on her, because she said she got the vaccine because she was a nurse, right?
Yeah.
And then she was like, I'm magnetic. How did she get her nursing license? Like, this is like, she makes other nurses look bad.
So here's what she said. I guess her name is Overholt. Her last name's Overholt.
Oh, God.
Joanna Overholt. I just found out something when I was on lunch, and I wanted to show it to you. We were talking about Dr. Tenpenny's testimony about magnetic vaccine crystals. So this is what I found out.
Oh, my God.
So I have a key and a bobby pin here. Explain to me why the key sticks to me. It sticks to my neck, too. She claimed while fumbling to keep the key in place before it fell from her neck, and she took her hand off of it. So yeah, God. If somebody could explain this, that would be great. Any questions?
I'm actually like, I didn't know actually that was exactly what happened. I just remember her saying that, but then I thought she like tried to stick it on her somehow, and I thought it stuck. But I guess I didn't watch the video properly.
What is like, honestly, like these theories are so crazy. Like
at least get some glue.
Yeah, get some glue.
Like I actually thought she tried to stick it. Like I thought
it sounded like she was holding it there, and then just like fell
I thought
off.
It like maybe stuck for a second, and like maybe because of her like sweat or something.
Yeah.
But
it's like with a spoon. You can stick a spoon to your nose. You just do like that breathing and whatever else. But like
this woman is a nurse.
I know.
This is very concerning for the health of and safety of the people around her.
Oh God, I know.
Oh God, you've had education. Like there's no excuse for this. How do you? And what? Why would we become magnetic? Like, what is the reason?
Well, I think it's the same kind of thought process behind
the 5G
network. And then some people were saying also they've noticed that they can get a very good Wi-Fi reception from where they had the injection.
Why are people complaining? I'd like a good Wi-Fi reception.
My Wi-Fi has been a bit shit lately, so I'm going to actually go and see the nurse that gave me the vaccine, because I don't think it's working properly, guys. Like it's really pissing me off. Like it's just not.
This entire hearing, I saw a few different snippets.
Yeah. And
it is insane, just the things that people are saying. Yeah. Like it is like, I feel like it's ableist to say that they're stupid, but like, oh my God.
So she actually went as far to go to the like legislative meeting where they're trying to pass this bill and argue for this. That
she put her face out there. This is another thing. It's like they have no shame. Like they actually believe this to be so true that they will go out there and try to stick a key on herself when she can can't she just test this before doing this
exactly.
talk?
Well, you know,
there's so many like missteps here.
You know what I think she's a part of, Rose? The flat earthers.
You love the flat earth topic.
I do. Oh my God. It was like the best documentary ever.
Gosh.
Because you know, the thing is, guys, and just on a side tangent, and it kind of applies to this woman as well.
Yes.
But like, it's so interesting when you have people like, because again, I'm all for one. I'm all interested to hear about theories and things. Right. But like, legitimately, like if you cannot prove, or if you're disproved your theory.
Yeah.
Then you have to change your thought process.
Right. Yeah. So if she did that.
Exactly. She put the key on herself. It's not being magnetic. You maybe try some other objects that are metal. They're not sticking to you. Then obviously your theory's not working. It's incorrect. It's flawed, whatever. And the flat earthers, it's the same thing. They did that whole light beam thing.
Yes. In the documentary, what was it called? It was like behind the curve or
behind
beyond.
The curve.
Okay. Yeah.
And they did that light test to prove they were like shooting a light for quite a far distance to prove that there was no curvature. And they're like, okay, it should hit this at the same spot as somewhere else. But because the earth is curved and there's curvature, it didn't.
Yeah.
And then they freaked out and were like, the test is flawed.
We have to do it again.
We're going to do another test. And I was like, well, you can't just pick and choose which test. Like again, I'm all for a good theory, but again, if you're doing the tests are to either disprove or prove your theory.
But they already have they're starting from the result.
Yeah, they're starting from the conclusion.
They're starting from the conclusion that they want.
Yeah.
So whatever they need to get there, they'll try to do.
It's unlike a hypothesis, because I remember always a hypothesis is an if-then statement.
Exactly.
If this, then this, or whatever, and then you test it. If it's flawed or it doesn't work, you move on and you test a new hypothesis.
Yeah.
But you don't start from the end result. You're not going to say, oh, if this is what's going to happen if X, Y, Z happens. God. Yeah, it's just...
Oh, God. Even just thinking about the flat earthers makes my head want to explode. This is the world we live in. How is this possible?
Rose, if they have a flat earth convention in Calgary, can we go?
Should we go?
I really want to.
Like, are you... Daniel, I don't want to be seen there, okay?
I know.
People won't know we're there ironically, okay?
That's true. They're going to be like, oh, this just in.
Although we could totally like bring mics and like interview people.
Yeah.
But then I also don't want to make people look so stupid.
Yeah, and I'd feel kind of bad. I wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, I always like to watch those videos when people do that, but I don't want to be the person doing it, because I would just feel really bad, because a lot of the people, guys, like
I'm sure they're nice people.
They are. We kind of like poke. I honestly like poke fun of the flat earthers all the time.
You love it.
But in reality, when you look at like the people that are part of that flat earth group, the reason they're in that group is not necessarily because they believe in flat earth, but it's because they found a community that they belong to.
Yes, that's our conclusion.
Yeah, it's really sad. And I don't want to like, you know what? Great. You found a group that you belong to. Have at her, have fun.
But can't you just do a potluck?
I know.
Like, do you have to do a flat earth convention?
Yeah.
You know, it's just ridiculous. People just love conspiracies, I think.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well,
does that bring us to the end?
It brings us to the end of the earth, you know, the flat earth.
The flat earth. Oh my God. I honestly cannot. This is why, Daniel, it's better not to have children.
to not procreate. Because
I don't want to bring my children up in this goddamn godforsaken world.
Oh God. It's not that bad, guys. We're just kidding.
Are we though?
Yeah, I guess I just think there are. I feel like it's... I think we actually talked about this like a lot of times in the podcast.
Oh, I'm sure we have.
Like so many times. Like I remember when we first started recording this, I was in Spain, you were here, and we were talking about how like we felt like the pandemic really
is bringing out the COVIDiots.
Yeah, it's bringing out these people, but they were always there, right? It was just like it was just like a catalyst to like create this kind of bad behavior and random stuff. So anyway. On that positive note, guys, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Once again, tomorrow we're recording we're recording Rose's
Freely reaction.
Yeah, Freely reaction video.
My reaction to Freely's video.
Yeah. We're going to comment on it. We're going to get juicy. I think we should even, while we're watching.
I might have some drugs while we watch.
Oh, goddamn, Rose.
Which drug of choice? I have a few drugs that I would like to
Apparently,
take.
according to her, coffee is your number one.
Yes, I might need a lot of my drugs.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to prepare my drugs in advance so that I can, stomach this video.
God damn.
It's going to be painful. Is it going to be painful?
No, I don't think it's going to be painful.
Is it going to be funny?
It's going to be funny. It's going to be more funny. You're going to see the comments that Freely makes, and you're just going to be like, Freely.
Like she would be a flat earther, probably.
I wouldn't put it past her.
Yeah, exactly.
She's definitely been drinking some Kool-Aid out there.
Oh, there's a lot of Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of us drank her Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Her Gatorade, I should say.
Gatorade, that's right. Yes.
Time.
So
we'll talk about it all in the Patreon, guys. Yeah. So make sure you
check it out.
Check it out. It's patreon.com/The SaVeg Podcast, and it's only starting at $3 a month, guys. It is a fucking steal. Okay, join us.
Tons of exclusive content on there. We've done an exclusive episode every single month
since we started, basically.
Which we've been doing this for over a year.
And ad-free content, guys.
Yeah.
And you get the episode earlier than everybody else.
Exactly.
Okay?
You get it in a timely fashion.
Exactly. So check us out, patreon.com/The SaVeg Podcast. Also follow us on Instagram. Instagram is @The SaVeg Podcast.
That's correct.
And what else should they do, Daniel?
And of course, if you are listening to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform, don't forget to follow us, give us a rating if you haven't already. Let us know what you think. And then also, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button.
And
subscribe. And also give us some love in the comment section.
Give us some love.
Let
Don't
us know
hate us.
Exactly. Let us know what you thought about the episode. If you do have not conflicting, but contradictory opinions, we do welcome those.
Yes.
But remember, guys, articulate your arguments, provide some good, substance to them.
Yes.
And we appreciate it. We do appreciate those comments. So yeah, and I think that's pretty much it.
That's it, guys. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you in the Patreon exclusive.
Oh, damn.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.